Top 5 mistakes I see young couples make when buying a home in Waterloo region. In today's episode, I cover the most common mistakes that I see come across my desk when helping young couples get into their first home. My name is Brian Braga. I am your host of Business and Beyond, and today I am starting a brand new mini series that I call the Mortgage Minute, where I provide you with tips and tricks to get you into your first home, pay down your mortgage faster, and overall help you understand the real estate market a little bit better. So, to get us started here, number 5, in no particular order, the first mistake that I see come across my desk often is focusing just on the interest rate. So, many new homeowners, when it comes to mortgages, are looking for the best rate possible. And honestly, fair enough, but a mortgage is so much more than just a rate. We have to take into consideration the prepayment privileges, penalties, sale clauses, and oftentimes the cheapest rates that are advertised are not very good mortgage products at all. So that first mistake is just switching away from the idea that a lowest interest rate is the best possible deal and being open to different mortgage products and exploring more rates. So the next mistake I often see is overlooking closing costs. Oftentimes, when you're buying, you're told the only thing you have to save for is that minimum down payment, that 5% for the first 500K and the 10% for the difference. But many lenders actually require you to have at least 1.5%, sometimes even 2% of the purchase price in your bank accounts. So instead of 5%, you might need 6.5 or close to 7% of savings ready and available before you can even qualify for a mortgage. And on top of that, too, closing costs sometimes can even be higher than 1.5 or 2% of the closing costs when you take into account moving costs, insurance, lawyer fees, land transfer tax. Just be prepared to save a lot more for closing costs than you do for your down payment. And then that way you have a smoother home buying experience. Number 3, the third mistake I often see is not shopping around. So many people, when they're ready for a loan, they'll walk into their branch that they bank with. They'll meet with their mortgage representative and they'll talk over the different options that they have for a mortgage. But the issue with this is the branch can really only offer you with the products that they have there. Whereas if you shop around, you go to different banks, you'd be able to see a couple more options and have more selection and more negotiating power when talking over your loan. And this is where I really recommend working with a mortgage agent. We actually do the shopping for you on your behalf because we have access to a ton of different lenders. So if you come to us, we take all your information, we do the shopping for you, and then we get you the best rate that we can, the best terms that we can, and try to get you the best mortgage for your lifestyle and for your needs. So the next biggest mistake that I often see is actually buying more house than what you can afford. So let's say you get pre-approved for a certain amount and you really strive at that top level, like you put in an offer at like the absolute cap of your budget. Just because you can qualify at that rate and just because you're approved for that amount does not mean you should be getting a house that expensive. So there are always unforeseen costs when you're moving in, furniture, moving costs, and then also if there's anything up with the house, if you're buying a used house or like a pre-built home, you always want to have a reserve of funds. And being said, you don't want to be going to the absolute cap that you possibly can with your budget. So that is often a mistake that I see. And then the number one mistake that I see is not getting pre-approved. Pre-approval is such a necessary step in the home buying process as it helps you set up your budget, sets up your expectations for the whole home buying process, and it also shows sellers that you're a serious buyer when considering offers. So let's say a buyer has multiple offers going towards a home and they see that you're pre-approved and you're pre-approved, meaning that you're likely able to afford that house. They might be more likely to select you compared to an offer that is not pre-approved. So those are the top 5 mistakes that I see coming across my desk in Southwestern Ontario and Waterloo region. And just to summarize, it is focusing just on the interest rate, overlooking closing costs, not shopping around, buying more house than you can afford, and not getting pre-approved. So if you like these Mortgage Minute series, please let me know. I will be making some more short podcasts that are easy to digest in the coming weeks. My name is Brian Braga, and follow me everywhere at Mortgage Guy Brian. Bye bye.